Hello, everybody. Thank you for stopping by the Bob Dodd Show. Today, we have a very special guest, someone close to my heart, Jarrid Blair. I tell you, dude, I'm so happy that you were able to stop by. I know you're super busy. I wanted you on, dude, because number one, besides being good at everything, I'm really impressed with your artwork. Your story is amazing about just your life in general. You have, pretty much just like kicked ass in the grip game. I mean, everything that you've done, it's amazing to see someone that's like such a high caliber in so many different fields, man. You wear a lot of hats and you're good at all of them.
The greatest. The greatest.
My man, dude, like seriously, like that, what do they call it? I'm master and none or whatever that saying.
Yeah. Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah. Dude, you're a master in a few, dude. That's awesome. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Bob.
Carpentry, everything you touch, everything I saw, dude, I was just always impressed with you. Oh. So to have you on here, the theme of the show, I know everyone has a lot of different backgrounds, but the theme of the show is people that are interesting and extremely talented. So man, you're hitting all the rungs, man, all the bells, dude.
Oh, look at you. You know, one of the funniest things though that I think about now that you have the podcast is going back to when we first met.
Yeah.
And I would always say to you, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Dodd.
Dude, man, I got to tell you, starting this podcast was a strange thing. Cause like, number one, I wanted to start the production company with my wife.
Right.
And I didn't tell too many people about the podcast stuff. I did tell Jason, and I told this dude, Michael Lowendick. And those are the only two people I really told about it, just because like, I know Jason had, history, and we're talking about Jason Weimer. Shout out to you, Jason. He had history in like voiceovers and stuff like that. And, I just wanted to hear his opinion on it.
Right.
So, but as soon as I knew that I was going to be doing my podcast, my wife made me make a list of, people who I thought would be on. Dude, you were in the top like 3-4 people that I wanted to have on this list.
I appreciate that, Bob.
So you being here, dude, I feel like I've been on podcasting for like 10 years and now I finally got the big shot. You know what I mean? But dude, I'm so happy that you're here, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
What do you want to know? I'm from South Florida.
Yeah.
I was born in White Plains, New York, and moved to South Florida, West Palm Beach, when, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years old. Got into some trouble, and that's kind of what landed me here. And I moved here 2011, been part of the union since 2012, 13-ish.
Yeah.
And it changed my whole life.
Who got you into the film industry?
David Vanderbloemen.
Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah. It was an interesting story, actually. So he and I were going to school together. I was going for graphic and web design, and he was in one of my classes. And I noticed that he would come to school and then leave for like 2-3 months and then come back. And I was one day, and he was the only guy that I talked to at the school. And I told him, I said, dude, you're never going to graduate if you miss work. If you miss coming to school like this. And he was like, well, I work in the film industry and it's not, when they call, you just got to go.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, now school's more important. And we started trading work on the outside, real world, and doing, I was remodeling. He was painting. So we kind of helped each other out on a couple jobs, and he liked my work. And he suggested that I would.
Who don't like it? Come on.
Come out. Yeah, so he suggested that I should join the union.
Yeah.
And at the time, I think the dues were like $650, something like that. And I didn't have a lot of money. Trading, I was just strictly going to school, really.
Yeah.
And trading work with him, it only brought me a couple, at the time I was with a girl and I did the work just so I could buy, gifts for her.
Sure.
And I felt weird about buying her Christmas gifts with her money. So that was strange. And then I met him, we started trading work. And when I got to the point where I was ready to commit and sign up for the union, only had the exact amount that I needed to pay. And I was like, dude, so am I going to start working like as soon as I pay this money? And he's like, it's not guaranteed. And I didn't understand. Like, I'm about to give my last dollar and you're telling me I just got to be patient and just wait. And he was like, basically. So he didn't have a car and he needed a ride to work. So he would call me, pay me to take him to work. And I had all the documents that I needed to get signed.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that I didn't have was the referrals.
Yeah.
So he told me, he was like, yeah, you need union referrals in order to, finalize your membership. And I wanted him to be one, but he was like, I'm not, I can't be one of your referrals. So I was like, all right, where do I get him? And he's like, well, you gotta meet people. And I was like, how do I meet people if I can't, you know what I mean?
This is the vicious circle for anyone interested in joining the film industry. This is the same as today as it is.
Exactly. So one day he takes me he asked me for a ride to work. And so it's, 6 o'clock in the morning. Really, it was like 5. Got to his studio and I asked him, I said, are there people in there that will sign my paper? And he was like, maybe. And I said, can I go in there? And he's like, well, you're on the lot. I can't tell you not to. You know? And so I kind of snuck on the lot my first time and just walked around for like 2 hours. And looking at it now, it was weird, for me to do that.
Yeah.
But back then, I didn't know these people from Adam. They didn't know me.
Yeah.
And 6 o'clock is probably the worst time to do this because this is when everybody's starting their day.
Yeah.
Just got their first orders on what they're doing. And here this kid is like interrupting everybody. Hey, can you sign this paper? Can you sign this paper? Everybody telling me no. Like, get out of here,
Wow.
So met this one guy. His name was Fabrice. And I had no idea like who, like the ranking system. Like I just saw people and I'm like, somebody's going to sign this paper.
Yeah.
And so I walked up to this guy. His name's Fabrice. He was a Frenchman and super talented artist. And at the time, like his reputation was like, he's the greatest in the paint department ever. You know? So I was just really humbled to meet him. And he told me, he said, if you can get one more person to sign, you needed 4 references, by the way. So he said, if you could get one person to sign, I'll sign. And that put the fire on. Challenge accepted. I walked around, talked to everybody. Everybody shot me down for, like I said, 2 hours. Finally, I got another guy, George Turner. Big shout out to my guy. He signed for me. And I told him, I was like, dude, I'll come to your house and give you a full day's work just to prove that I'm somebody that can do this, And he was skeptical, but he accepted. He was like, I'll take it. He signed my paperwork. And then Fabrice, he signed my paperwork. And then Fabrice became a really good friend, good mentor. And unfortunately, he passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It was really tragic. And another guy that I met on that show, my first show, was Sherlin. And he also became a good mentor to me. And unfortunately, he passed away too.
Man. Dude, did cancer take him? What took him?
Fabrice, I can't even remember. He was older, for sure. Yeah, he was older.
I just there's a couple of people that passed away that we know. That cancer took them. So, I feel like I'm just hearing a lot about it right now, just because it's like on my radar, and just hearing all the sad news. That's all. But yeah, I mean, dude, you got your signatures. Do you remember what your first week was like, man? Like how did you get your first gig, man? Who?
So, I got the signatures that day, and my charge, she was the paint charge at the at that show. And so I got the signatures, and I went up to her, and I said, hey, I got my paperwork. If you need somebody, can I work for you? Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, I can't pick you up until, you get the signatures. Because this was in the middle of me trying to get all these signatures. I tried to get her to sign for me. She was like, I'm from L.A., my union's different, but if you want to work and you get the signatures you need, and then I'll pick you up.
Yeah.
So I walked on that day, got all the signature that I needed, and got a job that day. And that was my first start, just taking that shot.
Man, we have a lot of folks that come on and explain to people, because there's a handful of people that have watched this show,
right?
That they're not in the film industry yet, and their kid wants to be in the film industry, and I'll see them out in the street. I'm like, hey, I saw your show, dude. Good going. And I'm like, oh, really? Awesome. Kid wants to do this stuff. Like, you have to get them, kind of acclimated, to, they're not going to be working all the time because their brand spanking new. But, you have to let them know it's hard to get in. It's hard.
Yeah.
And to sit there and maybe sugarcoat anything is a bad thing to do to your kid. So you have to let them know, like, hey, you might work a day here, a day there. And gosh, if you're young and you're like 25 and you have your world already set in and you have your rent and everything like that, it's hard to stay working and make the ends meet when you're trying to just get into the film industry.
Right.
I just find it interesting, because we talk about, what it's like being on your first job, what it's like learning the equipment. Everybody has different names for everything. I'm not sure about the paint department. Mm-hmm. I know you started there, but like in the grip world, it's like, if you're in New York, it has a different name for whatever equipment. Right, California has a different name for the piece of equipment. And you have to kind of get to learn that. And if your job is with the LA key, you're going to have to use those terms. If the East Coast key, you're going to use those terms. The etiquette, like you pick things up real quick. So I'm sure it didn't take long. How did you learn about the etiquette of the film industry being, because like a lot of people talk about everything needs to get done right this second, mm-hmm. or there's always a time frame and you have to actually pace out your work day. How did you learn that etiquette?
I think it was something that has always kind of been in me, and the film industry, it was right up my alley. Yeah. It was something that I'm good at taking direction. I want to do things as fast as possible. I test myself. I want to push my limits and see how fast I can do something, how good I can be while I'm doing it. Yeah. And it was just not so much learning the etiquette. It was just doing, taking direction. That's it. Yeah. If they need it done this way, this fast, then this is the time frame, then I have to. There's no questions about it. I have to do that.
Yeah. A lot of people have a hard time doing that. I mean, like, once again, I think it was already built in you, at that point. I just sit there and think about myself. Like, it took me a while to learn the film etiquette. I told a story about my first week, and I was on a TV show called The Kill Point. My cousin John brought me on. Mm-hmm. I was just a rigging electrician, man. I'm hanging cable. That's it. And, I was told there's craft service upstairs. Go up there and get some craft service. Take a 5-minute break, 10-minute break. And someone asked me, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a gaffer. And, to the people who know what that is, that's kind of funny because having, a third, additional, say he's a gaffer to whoever the adult
First
was
week,
for that. Yeah. And I don't know. I thought everybody that was pulling cable was a gaffer, so like, that just goes to show you how naive people are, how I don't want to say illiterate, but like, how like, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And, I just remember, like seeing that person in the hallway again, after being all dirty, and he's like, and I'm like, how's it going? I know I said the wrong thing to you after a month or a month and a half of being there. So, it's like, we have these stories, these growing pains in industries. And, you know, that's why I talk about like etiquette. How long did it take you to get to learn how to do stuff, how to run stuff and things like that? Like I said, you're a lot quicker than others at getting the hang of things. But yeah, it took me like 6 months to like really figure out the etiquette of working in film. Cause as soon as you say no to a boss, that's your first no.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta use those sparingly. So, being in that mindset, you know, it's different from the real world, you know, and I'm like getting to know the real world again. So,
Right.
you know, and people who are in the real world that don't know the movie world, it is literally like a portal that you cross.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for me it was that first day. They, you know, are okay. I learned that there's a ranking system.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I was a utility first.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of weird because my boss found out that I was good at fixing things,
Mm-hmm.
but I was also a good painter, and I was kind of used for both at first.
Mm-hmm.
So I would fix all the paint gun, the spray guns and pot sprayers and all that good stuff. But yeah, I knew my place.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I got there.
Yeah. When you were doing the paint, how long did it take you to transition to grip?
I would say probably 3-4 shows.
Yeah.
I didn't know at first, like, so the show that I was working on first, my construction coordinator was it was strange. I just kind of felt like this is the only person that I'm ever going to work for, and I was grateful for it, you know, being in the movies. So I didn't look at other departments like, oh, I can do that, you know. I looked at it like I would love to try it. You know, I saw the stunts and I was like, oh man, that's it right there. But I didn't think that I was allowed to go to another. I thought it was kind of taboo to talk to other departments. And
sometimes you're like taught that, like not directly, but like you kind of feel that because it's just the dynamic of
right.
You want your job, you don't want to lose it.
Right. Yeah, and definitely being, you know, fresh in the industry, saw my first paycheck. I don't want to do anything that's gonna stop this from taking, you know, from. But yeah, I'm you know me, I love people, I love everybody, so I want to know everyone, you know, and so I couldn't help myself and started talking to other people. But I had a friend, and my buddy he became a grip. He knew I was a carpenter, and he told me, you know, you should try this out. I could probably get you a job. It's the same as doing carpentry, except you're doing it with metal. And he was like, I think you'll pick it up quick. And I did it.
Yeah.
And I was sitting at home for like 3 months because I was being loyal to the construction coordinator I was working for. And I didn't know, or I didn't want to get like, I didn't want to make waves by looking for other work.
No one ever told you to meet people.
Well, I mean, I went out on my way, and you know, I'm very helpful. At least I try to be, and I meet people like that. But I didn't know like meeting these people are gonna get you your next job.
Yeah,
I thought this guy was it. This is who I'm working for.
And then
I'm from South Florida, Palm Beach County, represent, hold it down.
Palm Beach.
Yeah, 561. But growing up there, I watched behind the scenes of movies, but I thought it was strictly like a Hollywood thing. So when I found out that Georgia was a hub for entertainment, I had no idea. It was when the guy first introduced me to the idea of joining the union to work in the movies, I was like Hollywood movies, like real, you know. And he was like, yeah, like I work on like real movies, and yeah, it was just the furthest thought in my mind. Like, yeah, I can actually work on, like me, I can work on Hollywood
Dude,
movies.
you were made for the movies.
I
And like
appreciate that.
people don't realize. I mean, they probably realize it on this podcast because we talk about it. You know, you don't necessarily choose film. Film chooses you.
Yes, absolutely.
You know? And I say the same thing about the grip department. You know, you don't choose to do grip.
Yeah.
You might day play here and there.
Right.
But gripping, and I'm not talking about other grips or grip keys, like the craft chooses you. So, and I think, you're pretty much solid in a few different crafts as far as the film go. So film had to be lighting that like firecracker under you after that.
Oh, it was waiting for me.
Yeah.
The whole, my whole life it was waiting. Like, it was right here. And I fell in love with it first go around. But yeah, when the decision became present to make the switch to grips, I was trying to be loyal to the construction department. I was waiting for him. He told me, it might be a month or two or whatever, but I'll give you a call. 3 months went by, and then my buddy called me to go to the grips, and I tried it out, and I was like, this is what you do? Like, this is it? Oh, man. Yeah, I love the bruteness about it, the aerial. I want to say aerial performance. Like it's my stage. It's,
You like climbing, and you like being really, really high off the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I want the most dangerous aspects of it.
The laws don't allow you to do what you want to do, though.
I mean, really, if if they're not there, and there's nobody to really. No, let me stop.
Yeah, no,
I definitely try to be safe. I'm not going to do anything.
I've never
outside
seen you,
my comfort zone.
I've never seen you not safe though.
Yeah,
I see you extend yourself, but I notice how you gauge people around you and you. So it's not like you're oblivious to what's going on.
No.
Yeah. When we were on Superman, I felt that crew, like, man, a lot of people had similar ideas. Like you guys all were on the same page.
Yeah.
And you guys were all complimenting one another. Yeah. We had talked about how everybody on that crew, they all had their own individual superhuman power, Yeah. So it definitely, it's awesome to see that. So you're getting into the grip thing. This is me. Do you remember the first show it was?
I want to say it was a pilot called The Jury.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was another one that I just cannot, for the life of me, remember the name of it.
It'll come up later.
Yeah, but it was just building fly swatters. We were working at Whitehall Street, and so it's just a warehouse, loading docks, stuff like that. And we just had some grids to hang over sets and tease them with Dubatine. Nothing like I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Like it just expanded.
I like that you're using film words because one of the things people were like, I don't understand film words. You talk film and I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. So the grid is a system that you put in the sky, and teasing is basically shaping the grid for the lights. So when the lights are put into it, basically you shape the lights and direct the light where to go. Light flows like water. It's not like Bruce Lee, but light flows like water. So they tease the structure in order to shape the light.
Yeah, trap it.
Yeah. Yeah. So use all the film jargon you can because people really react to that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to get people to like, subscribe, and comment. But so you're up there, you're teasing the lights and you're getting the structure going on. Because, when I think about rigging, a lot of people do not realize that you guys are the first one in pretty much to get all the overhead stuff done. And then construction will come build the walls. So, and you're the custodian of safety. So when you talk about maybe going to the edge a little bit of, safety. You never go beyond your ability, but I mean, can you describe to the folks that might not know what rigging grip is and like what, it's not like dangerous work, but it can be. So you have a lot of responsibility.
There's a lot of responsibility. Yeah.
Coming on. Like, how would you explain the responsibility to folks that don't know about it?
First off, we would love to be in a building first before construction. Sometimes it doesn't, we're not afforded that opportunity to get there before the set walls and all that stuff are up. It just goes by quicker. Say if you're building a grid above a set, it makes it easier to know or to put up before they get there. Mm-hmm. But sometimes if they build a set, it's easier for us to understand where we're going to set our pipes. The more information we get, the better, because sometimes we have to put lighting on those pipes. And that's essentially what the grid is for. Sometimes it's to hold up the walls. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's to light the set. And knowing where the walls are going to go makes it easier for us to go in after, but it makes the work a little harder because we're dropping cables from the perms to build the grid, to set the pipe on the cables.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize, too, like when building sets, there's supposed to be designations for some walls to be considered wild walls.
Right.
And sometimes a wild wall isn't a wild wall until a grip has to, on the day, come in and cut it with a Sawzall. And sometimes the rigging crew has to come in and make sure that the wall's supported and such before they even cut something. And that's always a fun situation,
Well,
just dealing with all those issues. You're a problem solver at like the core of it. I noticed, dude, you're a solution maker in a lot of different scenarios.
I think being a good grip, that's what, that's the most important part of your job is to solve problems. Mm-hmm. And of course, try to foresee problems before they even arise. Mm-hmm. But safety is number one for sure. Building, like when you're dealing with chain motors, for example, a lot of times when you're about to set these motors for different things, I mean, I could go down a list of things that we need them for, but more importantly, when we're hanging them, that's where a lot of danger comes in play because the sets are majority of the time already up, and we're putting these chain motors over people's heads. So that's where I think you have to really take a lot of caution.
Yeah. Another thing too, when you talk about, there's a set established already.
Yeah.
And you already have all your chain coming down, hanging on the walls. So if you can imagine, while you're like inside a 2-man aerial lift, whatever size it might be, 60, 80, whatever, you have to like basically drive a machine in tight quarters and angle this arm through a bunch of different chain that's there, through lights, sometimes, bridles, that hold other pieces up. And you have to really pay attention to everything that's around you. And if you make one wrong mistake, you can break a chain, pull something, and collapse anything. So when he talks about how safety is key, it really is.
Yeah.
You're in the rigging electricians and grips, they have their own set of dangers. Like if you think of stunts are dangerous, but rigging and electric and rigging grip, you guys are always fighting the dangers of other people's work.
Yeah.
I feel like, because like you have no control over what, the other departments have hanging or doing. And like, you're like navigating through everything, and you're always repairing something for another department.
Yeah.
Very rarely do grips fix grip stuff. I shouldn't say that. Maybe if you have one grip crew come in for one season, then another grip crew.
No, we don't fix, we change.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, we change. Oh, that's good, dude. But yeah, man, the film world, it's like, that's how I met you.
Yeah.
We met on Superman, and I remember when I first met him, I'm like, I go to Jason, who's this guy? And, he's like, Jarrid. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, all right, because I noticed like you have a swagger about you, dude. When you're this confidence, it's like you ooze confidence. And like at first thought, it's just like I'm just pay attention to this guy for a little bit, just to see what you're like. And once I get to see you in action, I'm like you become like my favorite football player on the team or something. Like,
welcome to the show.
It's like, but that's the way I was looking at it. And I was driving the truck for you guys. So I was like looking at everybody as like trading cards. Like, oh dude, this is my guy here. And like, I'm looking at all these cards that Kent had. And, Kent said that he didn't like choose everybody. Like, like not everybody did he choose, but like the core crew, the guys that were around, like you and everybody, like he assembled you guys. And I'm like, that's right, dude. Assemble. Like he put you guys together. And I swear, dude, like I was like watching a movie of my own, like a background documentary on a craft that I know about. And I was just so pleased to be a part of that, dude. And you made me happy so many times watching you do stuff, Jason, seeing him do stuff. I mean, everybody, with, even Jason Charles, like being around him, being around everybody there, and I felt like, I was a grip, even though I wasn't gripping.
Yeah.
Because I got to see the craft. You know what I mean?
I mean, if you're driving for the grips, you're a grip.
Yeah, man. And it was a good time. What do you take away from Superman's about to launch here?
Yeah, July 11th.
July 11th?
July 11th.
Nice.
Yeah, my sister's birthday.
Nice. Oh. Are you going to go check it out?
Yeah.
Nice. Me too. We're going to take the family. I got the invite to the premiere. For
yeah,
and I don't know if I'm going to go.
You gotta go.
Well, I mean, I would like to go, but the time. If they made it just a little bit later, I might be able to pull it off. But getting off of work and then get into the premiere. I'm thinking about it. And this podcast, this is going to come out right before July 11th. So I have like a two week turnaround for getting all these podcasts edited and up on the
it's
YouTube.
Really good stuff though. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It's different, man.
Yeah.
Different. You ever think about doing a podcast?
Never. No, I mean, I stream games, just getting into it really, but never thought about doing a podcast.
Yeah. You should do the streaming games thing. This device that I use,
right?
It's called a YOLO box, and gamers stream with this thing. People who stream, they use this, and that's what this is basically a streaming machine.
That's awesome.
I use it as a video switcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it records isolated tracks and isolated video. That way I can go in and edit everything.
Yeah, you're gonna have to show me more about that.
Dude, yeah. Matter of fact, I mean, there's a thing I've been doing. I lost 3 podcasts. It sucks. Jason Weimer came on here, dude. He had this like really good podcast. Like I listened to the audio. I lost the video of it. And I'm trying to figure out a way to animate it. Right?
I was just going to say, animate it.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to do that because the podcast is really good. And I listened to about 30, 40 minutes of it besides, talking it or whatever.
Right.
And it's a good podcast. So I'm not like discarding it. I'm just trying to figure out how to post it, you know, but we're going to try to animate it, but I'll show you everything here, dude. At the end of the podcast, I'll show you the steps that I do to make sure I save everything. Mm. Yeah. Cause it's so easy to lose, the information.
Yeah.
It's so easy, but, yeah, dude, like, this is man, I never thought I'd spend all this money and have all this lights and have this studio space.
Bob, I always wanted Weimer to do this because his voice is just, hey man,
dude, that's a good voice too. All right, you be Weimer and I'll be Weimer. Yeah.
Hey, you gonna drink that in that cup? I mean, he's just so, yeah, man. He's just his like.
That's good though.
His voice is it's killer, man. And so I try to encourage him a little bit to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, he was already on the track. He was already doing voiceovers and
yeah.
I mean, he's just gifted, Yeah,
he is. His podcast is called The Wizard King.
The Wizard King.
Yeah, we have one of the episodes. I'm not sure when he's going to drop it, but yeah, we're doing videos for him, dude. Podcast videoing for him.
But one thing that came as a surprise is you doing podcasts.
Oh yeah,
because we've had talks, in the truck, on the gate, just hanging out, and I never thought I'd but now it makes perfect sense. I was like, man, I can't even think of a better person for a podcast.
Well, thank you, dude. I talk a lot, man. I talk a lot, and a lot of it's just straight out of my butt. I talk, yeah, check this out. But it's like we're trying to figure out things to do with the film industry being the roller coaster that it is. Like right now, it is it's inoperable, and
I don't think it's just the film industry. I think it's everybody in general. I mean, you have so many things going on with life right now.
Yeah,
technology is at an all-time high, and I'm an '80s baby, so I got to see a lot.
Yeah,
of transition from analog to, digital, and here we are now.
What do you think about all the AI stuff? I mean, you're an artist. You're an actual artist,
right?
Like, maybe when we get out of here or whatever, you can maybe give me some pictures. We could put them up right now.
Yeah, I'm going to send some pictures of my art, but I'll also send some pictures of rigs and other stuff we were talking about.
Yeah, do that. And I'll put that I'll put those pictures in a little box in here. So as you're talking about it, there might be a photo down here of what we're talking about. Right. But yeah, like AI, dude, is like blowing my mind right now. And I read an article that the AI that we are now able to use, like VO3 and the other platforms, that they're not even that's the stuff that we're allowed to see and we're allowed to use. There's better stuff out there, is what this article is saying.
Yeah.
I can't discern some of the videos, if I don't see their fingers or their hair.
Now it's not even, you have to be you have to analyze every video you watch now.
Yeah.
Every TikTok, because you just don't know, and you got to really look at it, because and they're getting better to where the hands aren't even to tell, or the hair,
eyes, the hair. The thing that's blowing my mind, I don't want to name the YouTuber, just because I don't know him, but he has a pretty cool channel, and he talks about how he makes all this money making AI videos for pharmaceutical companies and car companies and manufacturing companies. Mm-hmm. And he'll use his prompt, and it says it takes him a day's worth of work.
Yeah.
And that video will score him, thousands of dollars. So he's getting paid thousands of dollars for a day's worth of work just doing video prompts for pharmaceutical commercials.
Yeah.
And you can't tell that he played one of his pharmaceutical commercials, and you can't tell it's fake. I mean, it looks like a doctor writing a pen, hey, Blemaflaw or whatever it's called. And then he has all, everything that the commercial would have, gives you diarrhea and all that stuff. It's just like you filmed it, but it was AI created. So all those actors in there are fake. They're not real humans.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if they're likenesses of anybody, because when I was playing with the AI, I didn't give any reference to what people look like. The AI just generates it. So as an artist, I mean, you got to have some feelings or some thoughts about that. And not that you have to, but
no,
I think you might.
I get it. I mean, I'm all for it. Mm-hmm. I think AI is a great tool, and I mean, it doesn't matter what I think either way, because it's here.
Yeah.
It's taken over, and if you can make money and know how to use this stuff, by all means. I just don't like the deception angle of it. Dating's really hard.
Yeah,
it's you can't determine who's real, who's fake.
Yeah,
who's scamming.
Are you in dating platforms?
Yeah.
Now, when you come across these this is interesting because I met my wife on Match.com.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm familiar with dating websites from 15 years ago. Now, I remember having my profile, a message coming up, and it'd be like a beautiful girl, and you find out it's a Russian girl, and she's like, "I need $1,500 to fly see you." It's just like, I'm not giving you any money. You know what I mean? Does that happen via video now?
So it's hard because now they have AI that you can simultaneously make yourself into any gender you want,
Wow.
So I could be talking to you and then think that I'm talking to like maybe a beautiful blonde and it's you behind the mask.
And I ask you for money.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean that's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't.
So you could sit there and like FaceTime with somebody, and it's not even, it's just a filter and voice filter, looks. It's wild.
That's crazy. I did hear somebody get a FaceTime phone call to their mother, and their mother was like, "Hello, who's this?" And it was, "This is Sergeant so and so. Your son has been booked. Please like Venmo $600 and we'll process them and get them out."
Yeah.
And then it's like, what mother or father wouldn't be like, "Well, here's the $600. Where can I pick them up?"
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they Venmo to some account somewhere and they're out that $500-600.
Yeah.
Before it was like $15,000-$20,000 for bail.
Wow.
Now it's like, just $500-600 for processing, and you have to come pick them up. And they're paying it.
Wow.
That's crazy. Now they're dating it. Now they're bringing the dating.
Oh.
What's that movie, Her? You ever see that movie, Her?
I didn't see it. I wanted to see it. I'm sure it's really Joaquin Phoenix.
I think so, yeah. And then Scarlett Johansson did the voice.
Mm.
I know she has some issues because there's a company that uses the voice from Her, and Scarlett Johansson sued them because it was her voice for like a video game or something.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's AI is just, it's hard to say, how good and how bad it's going to be.
Yeah.
And there's no way to get rid of it.
Man.
So you just got to get with the times,
Yeah.
And I keep seeing ads like we're using it wrong,
Mm-hmm.
We could probably, both of us right now, if we really sat down and looked at it,
Yeah.
break it down, we could probably fix our whole lives. Like every aspect of it.
Yeah. I didn't think about it that way. Because like the past few months, I've been looking at AI as if it was coming from my job as a trucker. We have trucks out there driving here on 285, 85. They are electric trucks.
Yeah.
And they are being autonomously driven. Now there might be a guy in the driver's seat, but they're not driving. The truck's driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's happening here in Georgia. And to sit there and think to myself, like, well, you still need someone to unload the stuff. Like why would they have an electric driver, not have a person to get something? And then I saw a video of a autonomous tractor trailer back into a gate and an autonomous forklift take everything off. And I'm just like, oh man, maybe I'm not going to be able to drive for the movies anymore, because who knows?
I mean, the movies is a little different, but I think eventually, like everything can, if you really wanted to go there, can be taken over by machines.
What do you think that's going to do with people when all of a sudden they're not going to have a job? Do you think some kind of like universal basic, I don't know, kind of like income is going to have to be established?
I think something like that, but I think more so like where we're at right now is everybody's doing podcasts, or it'll just kind of like the Truman Show.
Oh, dude.
Like everybody is just going to be filming themselves or being filmed, and depending on how like
They're the same guy that is using AI to make these commercials.
mm-hmm.
He says that he uses AI for his prompt. So like the fact that you see him talking about this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's all computer generated also.
Right.
He makes a script and everything about his video from start to finish is fake, not him doing it. It's taking his avatar, his voice, and using script in order to make the thing.
See, I think like that's where it's going to be, is where, you know, each person's life is going to be filmed. And however much you push your limits for what you want out there or expanding on, like you'll be paid for your little channel.
Mm-hmm.
And, but if you want to make multiple avenues and you're out there making more content, because that's what it's all coming down to anyway, is just content.
Consumers of content.
Well,
man.
So I think it'll be content based.
Mm-hmm.
The more content you put out there, the more income you'll have.
Yeah, man, that's pretty interesting to think about, because like AI is not going to fix your gutter. You know, AI is not going to correct your plumbing if something goes bad.
Well, who knows? Like down the road, they have machines that can build houses.
Mm-hmm. 3D printer.
Yeah. So I'm sure there'll be some type of like prefab buildings.
Yeah.
To where, they might not be able to fix your gutter, but like replace it, or you know, basically just go out there. Oh, this part failed, and all computerized chips, and knowing that this is failing on the house. You know.
Yeah, being that you're an artist and you actually use your hand and pencils and different media, like or different things to create art. Do you think there's going to be a divide with human art and AI art?
I think it is, and I think it's there already.
Yeah.
So when AI first came out, I'm looking at it like that's not art, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who am I to say that's not art?
Mm-hmm.
You know, poetry's art.
Yeah.
These are words written.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, and you know, somebody had to say that to make it say it. Yeah. And so now, people are using their words to create works of art. So it's just another piece of category of art.
Man.
But I worry about that. I'm not saying that there's going to be some great collapse, but you know, you go back to the pyramids, like they were creating art on walls with pigments and, you know, on stone. And when we're able to look back at that now and say that was their history. So I think a lot of our history is going to get erased. You know, like if we keep saving on digital, you know,
it's all going to collapse.
Yeah. What happens if if the power goes out and never comes back?
Yeah. I mean, we just had I didn't even think to check. Like we just had my big toe accidentally hit a cable underneath this table, which now I'm going to have to rectify that. But I didn't even check to see if the first half of this podcast was recorded, if we saved it.
Yeah. So
who knows?
Just that quick, you know?
Yeah. Like little things happen like that. I hope it's saved. Who knows? But like I said, I lost 3 podcasts just by trying to transfer it from the SD card to my NAS system. And that's another thing too. Like when you're talking about computers and talking about transferring of information, my NAS system is like a network that I have in my house to handle all the gigs that I create. And just by taking your mouse, clicking and sliding over to the folder and letting it go, you think everything's good.
Yeah.
But if something happened to the NAS system while it was trying to upload or whatever, and then all of a sudden something happens and you don't even see that the problem occurred because you see the file is there, but when you go to open the file, nothing's there. Right. And then you got to look for it. I even I bought this program. It is a professional program. It's like if you go to like You Break, You Fix It or one of these like places where they get your information from your SD card, that's what it is. So I like to try to save the SD or to try to like find the lost episodes, I bought this elaborate system program and I still couldn't find it. So my wife and I was like, they're gone. And that's it. And that's what's going to happen to family photos. That's what's going to happen to those books that we read. I mean, Amazon one day is going to shut down and not boot back up. You know what I mean? And they're going to be like, well, we just lost all the information.
Yeah, and it might not be in our generation. You know?
No. But being in the construction world since the film industry has slowed down for me, the only thing I've worked on so far was hospitals and like AI stations, like artificial intelligence hubs.
Right.
So when you're building these data centers, you know, how do they know they're backing up what they're backing up?
Yeah.
Just don't know. Just don't know, man.
Wow.
It's just crazy. But let's go back to the film thing, because we have a pretty unique, like, literally not real world, but like, dude, when we're working on films, when we were in Cleveland, I felt like we owned Cleveland.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like this one of the aspects of what's so hard about people leaving the film industry and like coming back to the film industry is people like the film industry, not because they like building trust. It's because they like building trust with the guys that are there. So it's like a click thing. What is your favorite thing about film?
Oh man, there's so many.
Yeah. And do you have any stories that you want to tell? Because like I'm telling you, Kent, he was like, you got to get these boys on and have them tell stories. I want to hear more stories. So Kent thinks everybody on his crew should come on and tell a story, basically.
I mean, I got a lot of stories.
Yeah.
One that really stuck out. I can't remember what street it was on, but right outside the hotel, we were building that overhead for the stairs. The portal.
That's 60 by 60.
Yeah. And man, this lady comes up to me, and she's behind security, and she's like waving me down, and she's like, "Can I just talk to you?" So I'm like, "Security, let her through." So, because we had the whole sidewalk blocked off, and it just felt cool to be like, "Hey, security, like,
sure,
yeah, that one right there. Let me talk to her real quick." So she comes up to me, and she's like, "Can you make a video for me?" And I was like, "I can't. You know, we signed NDAs, and you know, it's like against the rules." And she was like, "Well, I see you out there, and in Ohio, from my understanding of what she was saying, is you don't see many ethnic people doing what we do. So when she saw me out there, it inspired her because her son, he made time-lapse videos.
Yeah, I think I remember this story.
Yeah. He made time-lapse videos, and so she told me, I would like you to make a video for my son so he knows that he can do this too. Yeah. And I mean, that touched my heart. And, dude, you know, I'm a huge, I'm a teddy bear.
Man.
So when she told me that, I made a little shout out video to him.
That's cool, man.
Try to inspire him to keep going.
Heck yeah. And that's what we're here doing here, man. You inspire me to continue doing stuff, man. Like, I mean, when you have your stories, and please tell some more stories, because I'm interested so much in your life and your opinion. And, you know, I'm sure you had like, I don't know, some things that like you had, like, for instance, all these like soft holds that we have to do for people. Mm-hmm. You know, I was telling somebody about a soft hold, and they were like, "What's a soft hold?" And I'm like, "Well, you know, when you're like in between shows and you're trying to work for somebody, you are approached and they say, Bob, we want you to come on. We're going to need you, like, I don't know, for 3 weeks, you know, and a month from now. Do you think you could do it?" And you don't want to say no.
Right.
So you say, "Yeah, man, I'll put it on a soft hold," you know, and then all of a sudden you think you're going to be working, and you're trying to be selective of where you go because you're trying to land either a particular gig, or you're just trying to line your life up.
Right.
And then all of a sudden that soft hold bites you in the butt. And when you're supposed to go to work, they're like, "We don't need it. They changed it. UPM cut days, we're on stage." And you're like, "Oh man, I could have worked for so-and-so these couple days, but I didn't. Like, did you ever have to go through any of that?
Yeah, that was one of the first, transitioning from paint to the grip department.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that like? Because like, there's a lot of people that watch this that are interested in being in the movie industry, but they haven't taken the leap yet to do it.
You definitely have to continue with your life. I've learned that you got to do what's best for you. The production's always going to do what's in their favor. So you have to do what's, in your favor.
Yeah.
So when it's coming down to the jobs you're choosing, because you're just as important as the production is.
Yeah. You're a human being.
Yeah.
And like take for health and like, for instance, sometimes as men, especially like, so a grip is, I know there's some women out there that do that, and there are some tough ladies out there doing the work, but it's mainly a man-driven department, and both female and male that work in the grip department, they're tough. They're real tough. We don't get hurt easy, and when we do get hurt, sometimes we ask ourselves, am I injured or am I hurt? And there's a difference. And, we always shake it off as like, oh, we're just hurt right now. We're not injured.
Yeah.
And sometimes we learn weeks later that we're actually injured. And I think you have some experience, if you're comfortable talking about it, like, I know I have a story. I know you have a story. We can tell both stories. And the situation is we hurt ourselves and the show must go on. So we keep going, dude.
Yeah.
What was your experience in that?
I actually have a couple. There was one, Jason Charles. He and I were carrying a pick board. Mm-hmm. It's just a long ramp made out of aluminum. Probably weighs like 250, maybe 300 pounds. It was 20 foot long. Yeah. So I grab one end, he grabs the other end. So he's holding it like a gurney, and I'm in the back, he's in the front. So I pick it up, and there's this pallet on the ground. So we had a spotter because it was so long, and we're rushing it into stage because it's about, they're about to use it to shoot. And I pick it up. Jason picks his end up. We start, running in the set with this thing. Not running, but, we're moving. There's a pallet on the ground. This pallet has a bunch of concrete on it, like concrete branches. It probably weighed like 400 or 500 pounds, maybe even more than that. Yeah. Dude, I kicked this thing with everything I had. Oh, man. Yeah. I didn't break my toe, but I separated it to where it like stretched. It was right, on your big toe, like that ball that comes, it was right there. I like kicked it so square that it separated it. Hyperextended it. Yeah. Put me in a cast for like a month. Man. And that day I was injured. Like, I felt it as soon as I hit the ground. Like I kicked it, and I was still, when I was going down, I was holding it up, and Jason knew something was wrong. So he just, he let his end down as I was falling. And then, I hit the deck, and I'm still holding this thing. And I pick it back up. I'm like, come on, let's go. So, get your end. So we picked it up and we mushed it into set. And people are trying to help, but at this point, it's like, just get out of my way because I got to get this down. Dude, I could feel my foot's on fire. I set it down. I go to the medic. Medic looks at me. He's like, even if you broke it, there's nothing we could do about it. Yeah. They're just going to tape it back together. So that's what I did. I just taped it back together, and then I made it through the day, and then the next day I was like, I gotta go to the doctors with this. So I went to the doctors, and they put me on light duty. So I had a walking cast, and this is the part where I was hurt, because like I was injured, but like I'm one of those, just put me in the game, coach. I'll make it happen. So I come to work, and Kent was, he's just, I love Kent to death, man. He just, he just looked at me like, I feel sorry for you, but I'm disappointed in you at the same time. Like, you're my best guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of those, like, what are you doing? And Kent is, he wasn't he wasn't gonna let me, just take off work,
Yeah.
And sit home and collect a check for nothing,
Yeah.
He was just like, nah, if you can come to work, come to work. And so I showed up to work every day.
Yeah, dude.
And then every day he would see me and, no, Jarrid, you're supposed to be on light duty, I'm like, I know, Kent, but what am I supposed to do?
What's light and grip work?
Yeah, right. So I was still climbing truss with this boot on. And, so the production, they're looking out the office like, oh, he can't do that, And so Kent, Jarrid, I need you to get down, Yeah. So he eventually, like the first 3 days, I was just doing everything, with this boot on. And I was like, shit, the boot's protecting it. I'm good.
Yeah.
And so every time Kent saw me, he got to the point where he was just like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put you over here. So he put me in the containers, like where all the tools and stuff are.
Yeah.
And like I was just the guy passing, tools and equipment out. And dude, I probably counted 4,000 shackles.
Jeez.
Yeah. Just because it was to the point where I was for 12 hours a day, I was sitting in a container with all the grip equipment. No, it was actually cold. It was like in the middle of December or something. Or like January. It was freezing.
That's worse on the...
Yeah, it was. So, I mean, I would be going to the bathroom. Jarrid, get a call on the radio. Be like, Jarrid, what are you doing? And I'm like, Ken, I'm just going to the bathroom. All right, just checking on you. And I'm like, where is he? You know what I'm saying?
He's everywhere, dude.
Yeah, just watching me, dog. And but yeah, for like, I think I stuck it out for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And it just got to the point, like, it was to the point where I couldn't even stand up when I was in the container.
Yeah.
Like, I had to be sitting down every time Kent came by. And I was just like sitting down, leg propped up, and then, guys would come in for material or equipment, and like Slink that's the one you don't want. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to disappoint Slink, man.
Shout out to Slink.
Shout out to Slink, man. God damn. He's but yeah, he would come in and for those of you who don't know Slink, he's like the Grim Reaper of rigging. He's just so, in my eyes, like he's badass. He's one of the coolest.
What's up with him and calling out like stuff, like predicting stuff that's going to happen and it happens?
Yeah, nah, that's just him, And so, like I said, I was sitting in the container, and this is a guy you don't want to not be working when he comes around, and I'm just laid up in the container, and he understood. There's nothing that I could do, But at the time, this was one of the first, like, you
don't know.
Yeah, I've always wanted to work with him. Like when you're talking about like baseball cards, you know what I'm saying? Like he's the like all time, Hall of Famer. Like this is the guy you want to work with, just a little bit. And he would come in there and he would just look at me, and that's when I started counting shackles. I was like, screw it. If I'm going to be here, I'm going to do something, So I counted all the material in there. And
Man.
But then it got to the point where I was just, I counted everything maybe like 3 times, and I can't do this anymore. Sitting here, I was like, Ken, I could sit at home on the couch and just let my leg heal. Yeah, I'm going to be missing out on money, but it's probably better that I just didn't, And he was like, well, when you get the boot off, you give me a call, and you come back to work.
Yeah,
and I think it made him feel a little bit better, too, because he was, like, nervous about the liability aspect of it.
Yeah, well.
And I'm the type of person, dude, I'll cut my foot off right now. Like, you know what I mean? And it's not a problem, Kent. I'll do it, you know?
Wouldn't, no, Kent has this really, I'm assuming it's just the years in the business. You don't get too many people like Kent. So when you come across Kent and he says something, now he's not like just saying it just because it's something to say.
No.
It's like, and it could be a task for you to do.
Yeah.
And it's not so much like, hey, can you do this task? It's like, oh man, this thing looks really cool if it would be up over there.
Yeah.
And like, because he knows that the good guys are going to pick up and do what they're supposed to do. And the guys that don't get it, they're not going to do it. And it's like no skin off his back either way, because the guys that he has on the crew are going to just clean house and just be fine anyway.
Right.
But he has a way of like saying like, hey, something should be done without saying, I want you to do it, you go do it. You know, he just like, oh man, like, I think that would be cool if that was over there. Or like, he doesn't sound like that, but he'll say something. It's just nice and polite. And you'll have 5 or 6 guys like, I'll do it. I'll go get it.
Yeah.
You know, we might have not seen it. And Ken's ability to find loose nuts. I've never seen a person be able to find loose nuts like that before. Just walking over, just one nut. Oh, it's like, dude, how do you do that?
I mean, there's rumors that he unloosens them.
Yeah, Ken. Please comment. Let me know. But it's funny because, like I think in Cleveland, he found 2 nuts that were like just walked up to him. I'm like, man, I don't know, man. Those dudes really were cranking on them. Sometimes putting too much hate on them. You know what I mean? Like I can't believe we found a loose one.
No, but that's one thing I love about Kento is he's just so professional.
Yeah,
you know, I love working around him, and the more I work around people, I can kind of gain a little bit of their style, and put it with in my bag, and that's why I like working with Kent because I love how professional he is, and we're making movies. We're not doing brain surgery. You know, there should never, in my eyes, never be a point where you're getting yelled at or getting upset. Yeah. And there's times that I can understand, if somebody gets hurt, pay attention to what you're doing. But as long as nobody's getting hurt or nobody's in danger, like there's no reason to get upset or angry. Yeah. And like I said, if you just do what you're told, or do what you're supposed to do, your day's gonna go smooth. Yeah. All my days are smooth. Yeah. I mean, I love movies. But going back, like Kent was there was one day, and it really stuck out to me because somebody cut up a spool of tech line. Oh. And a spool of tech line is really expensive. Yeah. It's this particular spool was probably $5,000-$6,000. And they cut it up to make pull lines. So a pull line is like something on this drape, and then
it'd be a frame on it.
Yeah, not even a frame, but like say we have this drape here, and we need to pull it to open it and close it. We'll have a tagline on it. Yeah. Instead of pulling on the drape, we'll pull the tagline. So that's what they cut it up for. Was just and for that you don't need any. You could use a piece of sash or something that.
You don't, something that's not going to, because it's weight bearing. I forget what it is. It's like like 1,200 pounds per square inch or something.
It's insane.
Something crazy.
It's insane. Yeah, you can tow cars with like a half inch of it. Probably even less.
You can hang a car.
Yeah, exactly. And so, these were probably the most expensive pull lines that you can find. Yeah. Jeez. And so it happened on a Friday. And he knew about it immediately, And he probably found out about it at like lunchtime. And he didn't get upset. He didn't get mad. He didn't even you would never know that it affected his day. Yeah. But it just sure affected his weekend because he went home and he really thought about it. Yeah. And, the next day, first thing in the morning, or not, it was Monday. Monday morning we come in. Every piece of rope that we have, that we own, there's like samples of it on the tables outside where we have a meeting every morning. And he began by saying, somebody cut up a spool of tech line to use as taglines. And, it really upset me. And I went home and thought about it the whole weekend, and I thought of it as a learning experience. So that morning, first thing, he taught us.
What line was which?
Yeah. What line was which, what they were used for, you know. And he went into detail about these, you know, why we use this over this and this and this. And he said that it wasn't like one person's fault. You know, there was a chain of like wrongdoing, you know, from the person that went to go get the spool and then picked that spool up and decided, oh, let's cut this, you know, and then the person cut it and then another person hung it up. There was like so many people that rope had
everyone touched it.
And, you know, looking at it like immediately, if you know tech line, like, oh, this is tech line. Yeah, you don't cut that.
Yeah. I used to have a bunch of it. I forget what movie I got. They're about to throw it away. Yeah. I'm like, you're not throwing this away. I'll take it, you know, because I was using it. I had a Jeep Rubicon at the time. So I would use it as my pulley system in my garage to lift my roof up. You know, I was like, hey, you know, I'll take that stuff, you know? Yeah. That's a scary story that had a good, I mean, Kent, like you said, is professional.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like most people would they would lose it. You know, you're fired. All of you, everybody. I'm replacing the whole crew. But Kent he was just so cool about it. It burned him up on the inside, you know, because he doesn't like losing money at all. And that was like a lot of money. And, well, yeah, that's what I love about, one of the things I love about Kent is he was just so cool about that. Like it hurt bad, but.
Well, it's cool that he keeps it honest and he let his crew know there was a mess up.
Yeah.
It's everyone's fault, even my fault.
Yeah.
And then he just goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is sometimes, and Kent knows that. He's old school Hollywood. Show must go on. You know, your day doesn't have to be destroyed over it. My day doesn't have to be destroyed over it.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's, you know, coming out of the budget, which hurts his department, but he knows how to bob and weave and deal with it. And that's, a lot of keys might not know how to handle that. And that's probably why they yell.
Yeah.
You know, Ken should give a key grip class lesson, you know, go out to California. Hi, I'm Professor Kent Baker.
I mean, once you're at a certain level, you know, like people recognize you for things. And that's why he's been part of the movies that he's been part of. You know?
Yeah. It's pretty cool to say that I got to meet, hang around him, see what he does.
Yeah.
And see his crew. Watching you guys work, definitely top notch. Definitely.
Wow.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Shoot. But, yeah, dude, I mean, as far as the film industry goes, there's not many Kent Bakers out there. There's not many Steve Froharts. Wow. There's not many Slinks. Fernando, just like, not many of him, you know? And there's not many of you, dude. Like, seriously, like, dude, Weimer, Charles, like Jason Weimer, all those, like, everybody, dude. They all have, like, these special human things about them that when you're around them, like, even when Jason's chewing you out, like Jason Charles, if he's like chewing somebody out, you know, even when you're like you're an idiot, whatever, like, of course, if you're in the outside world, you're probably like, I'd never let anybody yell at me. Dude, if I was working under Jay, I'd let him yell at me. I just have to hear what he has to say, man.
Yeah.
What funny thing?
He's really good at it. Yeah.
What funny thing is going to come out of his mouth, man? But you know, like, so, like, man, just like I don't know where my point is for this, but there's not many of the people that was on the rigging grips on Superman.
I think it goes back to the industry choosing people. Yeah, because we wouldn't. I don't think we fit in at a regular job. You know?
I hope so. You know, I have some stuff in the works that's outside of the film industry.
Well, I don't want to say like fit in like that. What I mean is that we're always going to long for more. Yeah. You know, always have to, it's just nothing would meet up to what we do in the industry. That's the hard part is knowing like, yeah, if I don't work in the movies, then I got to do something else. But you're always going to go back to like, man, I want to, you know, work another show. And I think it's coming back. I think so. Like,
I heard Atlanta's going to be a little busy coming July, August.
Yeah.
So, but you know, we'll see what happens. For the Teamsters, there's so many people on the list right now. And yeah, there's no light at the end of my tunnel. Not until like a couple shows pick up.
Not with that attitude, dog.
Well, I mean, like people can request their Teamster if they, you know, get a producer, you know, to ask for it. But yeah, you're right. I mean, having the negative attitude about it isn't going to help.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm trying to look at it as like I have friends that are working right now that are, you know, just very happy that they're working, you know, and I'm happy that there is work here in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, there really isn't a lot of work to feed everybody.
Right.
So when you have like IATSE is click-based, so you don't have a seniority in IATSE. In Teamsters, you have a seniority. Like I'm technically not allowed to have a job unless the production either asks for me. And once I actually get a job, they can't take it from you. But if you get a job that you're like a day player on,
right,
then they could, then as soon as like, you know, someone from group 1 falls off, yeah, they have to take me off and put him on there. I mean, that's kind of the way it works.
Yeah.
So it's a little different story. If I go back to gripping, like I said before, a lot of the keys that I know, they're not working right now. So I couldn't even go back to gripping because everybody I know is not working. So, you know, thinking about outside world, doesn't seem so bad. You know, the film industry was taken from us twice.
Yeah.
You know, when, you know, COVID came around, we had no control. When, you know, you know what, in life, we don't have control over anything. Like I can get a job in the outside world and that could be taken away.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess my line of thinking that the film industry fell out on us is, I mean, yeah, it's true. The writer strike and COVID, but anybody, like if you're working for corporate and they don't like your attitude, you can be gone.
My attitude on it is, I mean, there's no other option for me.
Yeah.
Like it's this or bust, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I always know that there's another show after this. And I've been pretty consistent and like not trying to toot my horn or nothing like that. Like
this is the place to toot it though.
Yeah, yeah.
You should.
Beep, beep.
That's right.
I've been working without any time off since I've been in this industry.
Yeah.
And it's probably because I come in with a good attitude, you know, and I try my hardest at work. I give my all when I'm at work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And network as much as you can.
Yeah. My network for the Teamsters is very small, but it's getting bigger every day. I mean, people are watching this and people are noticing this show.
Yeah.
And I've had some Teamsters on Facebook reach out and say, hey, what's up? Good going with the show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think you have to worry about film anymore.
Yeah.
You got this podcast. It's about to blow up, dog. It's about to blow up. I have no doubt, bro. The setup is killer, dog.
Thanks, man. That's I mean, you're always so positive, man. It's like it's hard not to be positive with you. This is doing good, man.
Yeah.
We got 61 subscribers right now. So shout out to my subscribers.
Yeah, shout out to all the subs, man.
When we get 1,000 subscribers, my wife and I were gonna do a giveaway.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're not subscribed, you know, be within the first 1,000 subscribers. It might be a year from now, it might be 2 years, who knows? But we're gonna do something that's pretty big. I'm not saying it's gonna be expensive, but we're gonna do something that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
For when we hit 1,000 subscribers. So,
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. You know. But dude, I want to say thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything you want to touch base on?
Oh man, there's so much we could talk about.
Well,
this has been so cool. Like
Yeah.
I was kind of nervous at first. Like the first thought of it, building it up for weeks that we talked about it, and I didn't know what
to expect.
Yeah,
I
mean,
know
what does
to
Bob
expect.
Dodd want to talk to me about?
Well, dude, you're seriously. I mean, dude, you're so smart. But you're like, we didn't even talk about your art. And one of the things I wanted to
That was
talk
the main
about
thing.
was your art, dude. Dude. I know a handful of artists, and when I say a handful, I know a bunch of artists, but I know a handful of like artists that really intrigue me with their art, you know.
Yeah.
And you're one of them, dude. You Atlanta based. There's two guys, you and this dude Greg Suits, amazing artists.
I appreciate that,
dude. You guys are like my favorite artists that I've ever seen in Atlanta. So, when I think about your art, I just sit there and like, there's a story behind this. I mean, there's a story behind everything,
right?
But I guess it's because I know you, and I'm like, dude, I need to know that story. Or, dude, how did you come up with this? How did you even think about doing what you're doing? This is crazy. You don't see other people doing this. How did you do it? Yeah. And I don't know. I guess I could put some of your art in the video if you can get it to me. But like, you're really, really good, and you're so talented. And I just wanted to talk a lot about art. Like, how'd you get into art? I mean, did you go to school for art? Cause I know where you grew up, man, you didn't have it easy. And, you were definitely in a lot of different predicaments in your life, and you had a lot of things go on.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who have that happen, sometimes don't get a chance to be able to build skills in that craft. Yeah. And you're a dope artist, man. Like,
thank you.
And how the heck did you even get into art?
That's a real tough one, I think it's going up to has a lot to do with like getting out of your reality.
Okay.
Or the situation that you're in. Same thing when you're reading books. Sometimes you can just go to a whole different place.
Yeah.
Well, I was in solitary confinement, and I was looking for an escape.
Yeah.
And I read every book that I could read, and what really caught me was I was losing my mind. Like, I lost it. I was in solitary for so long. There was concrete floors, and then there was these like the pattern in it just looked like all these faces intertwined with one another.
Yeah.
And I was looking down at it one day, and I noticed like all these faces in there. And I was like, damn, this is probably all the faces of like all the people that were ever in this cell.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And I'd say a couple weeks went by, and it was just like every day I noticed it, and every day it was the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could see it just as clear as I'm seeing you.
Yeah.
And then I told myself, I was like, man, I bet like if I looked around, like I'd find myself in here. And so one day I had the idea, like, oh, you know what? I need to like document this somehow. So I started drawing, as best I could, the faces that I saw. And at the same time, I was looking for myself,
Yeah.
And I never found myself, but I found myself.
Yeah.
And it was in art that I found that escape, and I just continued with it.
Yeah. Your art has concepts, though. So it's like, it's deeper than just like what visually you see. I mean, like how you come up with it is.
It just depends, like what it is. If it's something that I'm contracted to do, then I want to know all the information available.
Yeah.
I want to know like who Bob Dodd is, I want to know, and that just helps me. I don't know, I kind of sit on it for a while. Yeah. And then the concepts just start coming the more you think about it.
Are you working on anything right now? Or are you just too busy working?
I got a couple things that I'm working on. I have a line of art that I'm that I've been working on for a couple months now.
Okay.
And then there's like just some projects that I just want to do.
Man.
And I'm trying to get back into my digital art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Well, keep me posted on some of the stuff that you're doing. I'm back on Facebook, sort of.
Yeah.
So I'll be keeping an eye out there, seeing what you got going on.
Yeah.
But, man, just when I think of art, like when I was like looking at your one picture that you had with the two hands, and I was like, God, I'm like, what is this, man?
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at something visually, it's like stunning. You're just like looking at it, like, I like it.
Yeah.
But it's telling me like 4 or 5 different stories right now. Right. I wonder which story is the truth. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, cause like it could be this, it could be that. And then, you know, when you go home and you're still thinking about something you saw earlier in that day, and you're like, oh, I wonder if I can recreate that somehow. You know, like, oh, nope, couldn't recreate it. You know, not that I sat down and tried drawing it, but I'm just like sitting there thinking about it. You had me thinking, you know? And from that point on, dude, after I saw your art and after you just, as a person, blew me away, dude.
I appreciate it.
You know? So, but we'll wrap it up, dude. I'm blessed, man. I'm so thankful you came on, dude. Thank you so much, Jarrid. Seriously,
Bob
dude.
Dodd,
You were,
ladies and gentlemen.
You are a amazing human being. And I'm, you know, just happy to have on. Yeah. So thanks to the great and powerful Jarrid for coming on my show.
The greatest.
Yeah. I want to thank you guys too for tuning in, man. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing and commenting. Please continue to do that. Share, do all the things that you like to do. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care.